Hello everyone, and welcome to the second part of my Let's Play Warhammer Online series. In this video we'll be taking a look at the character creation skill, playing for a little bit and just generally talking about the basics. So let's start off by taking a look at the character creation for the Empire characters. We'll pick just say a Knight of the Blazing Sun and we'll go. So as you can see here, it's fairly basic. It's not as advanced as say Eve or Rift or something like that, but you can make your character look pretty damn badass if you want them to. So you can mess around, you can give them all scars, you can kind of just mess around with hair, beard, and all this kind of stuff. And there's a number of faces that you can choose from. Yeah, and skin color and eye color, and it's very kind of standard character creation that you'll find in other kind of MMOs and other games. You'll notice, we'll just take a quick look at the female characters here. Now we can mess around with them as well, just change the faces and give them scars and stuff like that as well. The game goes for the approach of making your characters look more kind of like grizzled war veterans than necessarily objects of amazing beauty that you'd find in say other MMOs. There's, in general, the female characters, the armor they have is actually kind of functional armor. So if we go back, we can see the female Witch Hunter, Bright Wizard, Warrior Priest, and Knight of the Blazing Sun. As you can see, they're fully decked out in armor. There's two general exceptions to this, and we'll take a look at those a little bit later on. So that's basically the order character creation. Each race has different kind of aspects that you can mess around with. Like dwarves, you can mess around with the beards a bit more, and elves, they kind of have circlets and just kind of general things to make them look pretty. Bright wizards have kind of a unique customization ability, and there's basically the tattoos on their arms. So there's quite a number of tattoos you can choose from, and they do look quite cool. Their kind of color palette is also very much restricted to reds and oranges. So if we look at the hair color, it's just different kind of reds and yellows, but mainly it's the main bulk of the character. Like hair colors are just kind of red and orangey type colors, apart from just a couple of blacks and stuff. So I don't want to go into the character creation in too much detail. I find that when you're playing a game, you want to just mess around with yourself, and if someone's told you everything about the character creation, it kind of ruins the experience. So we'll take a look at the exception to the kind of no skimpy character rule. First up is the Witch Elf. As you can see, she's wearing some boots, and that's about it. This is what your Witch Elf character will look like for the first number of levels. You'll just be running around with just bits of cloth hanging off her. The Sorceress as well, kind of just wearing half of a dress and a bikini. But you'll find that the other characters, female characters, look quite badass. So do all the male characters as well. We'll flick back to the male, and you can see the male guys. The classes look pretty damn cool. I think these guys look pretty damn badass at rank 40 as well. So we'll have a look at just the Chaos. You'll notice that even though Chaos are human, they will look completely and utterly different from the Empire's human. So we'll have a very quick look at the Chaos. We'll just have a look at the Mages. And you can see when we start messing around with the face, you'll start seeing that the faces look very, very different. These ones kind of look very kind of just evil and intimidating. This one, huge unibrow, and just kind of scars and pocket marks and all this kind of stuff. And you can mess around. He only has one eye, kind of hideous scars, glowing eyes. The Chaos sign branded over their eyes and stuff. You can give these guys void eyes, so just black eyes, which look kind of scary. Their hair as well is very barbaric. So you've got kind of here, you've got the Chaos sign kind of tattooed into his hair, and as well as the beard. You can just give yourself these huge chops and hair that's very, very different from the Empire. So you're not really. It's not just humans and humans. They're very, very different in looks. Here we got a guy with kind of a symbol kind of branded into his beard. So we'll take a look at the greenskins, and these guys are quite different from everyone else, mainly because they're not really kind of humanoid, I guess. If we have a look at the black orcs, we'll see these orcs aren't pretty orcs at all. These guys are just ugly bastards, if you excuse my French. These are kind of orcs that will ruin your day and just take everything that you love and hold dear. So they look big, ugly, and stupid, but you can mess around with them. This guy looks pretty silly, but you can mess around with the teeth, so you can give your character different tusks, and you can mess around with scars as well. Scar 10 is my personal favorite for the black orcs. I don't know if you can see it just up here. He has a metal plate on his head, and he has another one up here. And you can mess around with the teeth color as well, the teeth metal color and teeth color itself. So you have a good bit of customization with the faces. The goblins as well, they have a fairly good customization. They can mess around with the faces. You just watch the face, you'll see the face shape change completely in a number of times. And you can mess around with all the ears. They have quite a large number of ears that you can play around with as well. So in this Let's Play series, we're going to be making a healer. Now there's a couple of reasons for that. I could make a DPS character, and you can see me smashing at the DPS and getting loads of kills and stuff like that. But I find that as a healer, I'm a little bit more useful to the warband, and just as well, it lets me kind of just hang at the back a little bit more, and so that way I'll be able to just go over briefly what's actually going on in the battle, more so than if I was trying to focus on a certain rotation and that kind of thing. It's also easier on my computer as well. If I made a melee character and I was trying to record in a press of about 30 people, and then you had 20 range characters trying to beat down on you as well, the frame rate drops quite quickly if you're recording in those kind of situations. It also means as well that as a healer I'll be able to get into PvE a little bit easier if people kind of want to see the PvE aspect of the game as well. So we're going to be making a rune priest, and I'll just quickly show you the sexiest character model in game, the female dwarf. Look at that face. Delicious, right? Yeah. Anyway, we'll be making a male dwarf. And we'll try and make him as badass as possible. So we'll go phase 6, I think it is. If you just stop spinning around for a small, okay, he really wants to spin around. There we go, and yeah, the hair there. Give him a big beard because it's the most important part of being a dwarf. Yeah, that looks cool. We won't give him any jewelry. I find myself going for characters that have kind of grey hair or white hair. In this one, we'll choose Fortress Grey. You may notice that that's the exact same name that the Warhammer paints have. We'll give him blue eyes, and we'll give him dark pale skin, and the metal of our beard will be iron. So now the most difficult bit, choosing the name for your character. I've already have a name picked out, so we're going to be Gamlier, the rune priest. He looks pretty cool. Now you can have 10 characters on this screen here. If you go over that 10 character limit, all you have to do to find that character is click on this little arrow here, and that will bring you onto order page 2. You can also have destruction characters on the realm too. However, just a word of warning, if you're playing an order character and you swap over and start playing your destruction character, you'll be locked into playing the destruction realm for 7 hours. And it works the same if you're a destruction character and you're playing on your order character, then you decide to play your order character, you'll be locked into playing order for 7 hours. So here you can see all the other characters that I have, Warrior Priest and a White Lion and that kind of stuff. But we'll be looking at Gamlier, the Rune Priest today. Now, if you're on a trial account, you're going to be locked into Empire Tier 1. Now, the game is split up into different tiers, and these are basically just the level brackets for the game. So Tier 1 is 1 to 15, Tier 2 is 16 to 26, Tier 3 is 27 to 39, and Tier 4 is rank 40. If you played the game before, you may be noticing that that's a little bit different from when the game was originally released. Originally, it was Tier 1 is 1 to 11, Tier 2 was 12 to 22 or 3, and Tier 3 was 23 to 34, or sorry, 33, and tier 4 was 34 to 40. They basically changed that because as the game went on, more people were reaching rank 40, and the people who were entering tier 4 at 34 were just getting absolutely and utterly destroyed. So it was a choice that Mythic made to just make it a little bit easier on those on the kind of people leveling up, so they're not getting destroyed. So this is the starting area, and when you start up, this tutorial window will pop up. We're going to ignore it now today, but you can keep it, you can have it if you want. It gives some fairly decent information. So we're going to run along, and here's some other people that have just started as well. We're going to run along, we're going to take this first quest. This is the little tutorial area that every character has to go through. So very simple quest, go kill these dudes, which we'll gladly do. Now you may be noticing that this is the Empire starting area. If you played the game before, you'll kind of be wondering what's going on here. And in order to consolidate the game and make certain areas more populated, Mythic decided that every Order character would start in the Empire zone, and every Destruction character would start in the Chaos zone. So this is where every single character starts. Now, if you're on a full account, you'll be able to use a certain ability to bring you back to your race's original starting area. However, if you do that, just be warned that you really won't find that many people there, because everyone is here kind of chilling out and kind of messing around in the Empire area. The item itself, it will be in your backpack. For dwarves it's called the Rune of Transport. For the high elves it's called something a little bit more kind of elf-like, if you will. So we're picking up the next quest, go speak to another guy, which we'll do, and he'll give us the next part of the quest line that we're on. Now, you'll notice that I have one damaging ability that I've been using, and then this is a healing ability. When you start off at level 1, you'll have one if you're a healer anyway, you'll have one heal ability and one DPS ability. If you're a DPS character, you'll have one ranged and one melee ability. So we just kill these guys. Now, you may be wondering why I'm not rushing into, why I'm not running straight away into RVR. As I was saying before, it's very, very important and the focus of the game. Personally, I find it's best to reach rank 3 before you enter RVR, and there's a number of reasons for that. As I said earlier on, you're rank 1 and you have 2 abilities. So even though your stats get boosted to rank 15, which is the top level for the tier, you really won't be doing that much damage, and you really won't be much of an asset to the team. You can't really heal with only one heal. You can heal yourself fine, but it's very difficult to heal multiple people if you only have one heal. So I generally find it's best to just get to rank 3, you'll have a few more abilities, a bit more armor, but if you want to just jump straight into RVR, just click here, join the scenario queue, and then join all. Or you can run along to the open RVR zone, which is up here. So you just have to skip across all this zone and you just get there. So we're going to hand this quest in there, and we're going to end up being rank 2, which is a nice little animation. And we're going to use the ability called Flee. Now this increases your run speed by 30% for 10 seconds. So it's quite a useful ability, and you can use it in any situation. However, it drains all your action points. It also drains all your combustion and all your grudge and your enrage. So it's not really the best for using directly in combat, but if you're trying to run away from combat, or you're trying to close the gap on someone who's running away from combat, Flee is pretty handy. So we're up here now in the first chapter of the Order storyline, and we're going to just talk to the career trainer. So she literally just gives you a list of all the abilities you can pick from. You can just click hide unavailable abilities, and that will bring up all the abilities that you'll have at a later stage. So we're just going to hand that in, and we're just going to ignore that quest and say goodbye. And this is the end of my second part of this Let's Play series. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I hope you found it informative. In the next video, like I said, we'll be looking at public quests. We'll be looking at professions, and we'll hopefully be able to make it to the RVR camp. If you have any feedback or suggestions, or just general questions or comments, please let me know, and I'll do my best to facilitate your needs. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.